Hi, I'm Melissa,
And I'm Jessie.
and welcome to our show.
Nameless.
Parody queens, cooler than you are made. Your earhole seductions is the Nameless Productions. For your earhole seductions is the Nameless Productions. For your earhole seductions is the Nameless Productions.
And today we have a guest.
Yes, we do. We have Jay Canter from Streetlevel Uprising.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like I say that backwards, but I think I say it correct every time.
Yeah.
And then I go, did I
say it right? Yeah. Or backwards.
Yeah, but I said it correct.
So
I've never said it backwards.
I was trying to, and I can't.
Me too in my head right now.
When you said that, I tried. Let's welcome our guest.
Hello.
Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
good. How are you?
Doing good. You might hear some rumbling in the back. They're having a huge car show like around the whole place. So we didn't know they were having that car show today. It was pretty crazy when we got here.
I
That's
actually
cool.
knew.
She
My
didn't say
mom is
anything.
there and I just didn't consider it. So hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We're okay.
How's
Cool.
your Saturday going?
Good. Good. Better now.
Right now that we can have some fun.
That's
So to
right.
start off, introduce yourself to everybody. We already did introduce you, but you do you.
I am Jay. I'm from the band Streetlevel Uprising. I also have my own podcast called Talkin' Reggae, which I'd love to have you both on there sometime soon if you'd like to be on the other side of this sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
That's
Cool.
our answer. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
If you're not sick of us by the end of this, because you might be like, nah, never mind.
Well, it's always different being on the other side, though. What I've learned about the two of you, I have a bunch of questions for you. That's obviously not appropriate for your show. So that's why I'd really like to get you on mine.
A couple things we know about you. We know you just relocated. Relocating affects one of your hats. Okay, we use a hat metaphor,
Okay.
which is something that I've used my whole life, where every job you have in your life, every title you have in your life is a hat. So if you're a dad, that's a hat.
Right.
If you're married, that's a hat. If you
Mhm.
work, that's a hat. You're a musician, that's a hat.
You're the lead of the band, so that's also a hat, because
Yes.
you also have to make sure that your band members are happy. So
Yeah.
all these different hats that you wear, like a lot of times we're all wearing many hats at the same time, which
That's the
becomes
truth.
overwhelming. And so sometimes it's like, dang, I need to take some of these hats off.
Also, sometimes
Truth.
we try to fit into positions and hats that don't fit us. Your hat doesn't fit. I have a confession. My hat also doesn't fit,
Cool.
and I have to wear two.
The problem you have is hats are too big for your head, and mine
Yeah.
hats are too small for mine.
And they
so-
all
Yes.
fit my head just right. So we thought of
is-
this. It's like the three little bears. Or
Is-
the three
is-
bears.
Is that the hat from the 4 Non-Blondes video?
I don't know.
It is now.
So this is like, it's a running joke with me. I was saying to you earlier, it's a running joke with me and my friends and my family that most hats don't fit me. So yeah, I can't wear like a regular baseball style cap like this charming KU Jayhawks hat, national champions, Kansas Jayhawks. So that, yeah, I recently relocated from Kansas back to Florida. So that's first hat I wanted to wear.
Nice.
It's
So
a good hat.
do
It's
you
a good
literally
hat.
walk around with it just sitting on your head like that though?
No, I don't
Okay.
wear any of those hats. Like I have a few hats here that are like style that size. I can't
Yeah.
do anything with it.
Hats are weird for me too. Like, I mean, I could probably fit a lot of stuff in there if I needed to.
Yeah, if you had to.
Right?
I
A whole
have a
mouse.
child-sized head. You put a mouse in my head.
The only thing I could find that I thought would fit.
So what hats do you have? You have family hats, you have your podcast, music. What hats do you wear most often?
Dad's the most important one. So
Definitely.
go with that. That's definitely the most important one, yeah.
Yes, I'm
those
always
kids.
a mom
Yeah,
hat.
always a mom
Yeah.
hat.
It's the only one that matters.
It's,
I agree.
It's crazy because I've already raised my children. They're older and they are kind of doing their own thing. They're not around as much. They're
Mhm.
at that age where it's like they don't really need call unless they need something specific. And so like I'm not always wearing that mom hat now. And so it's really weird because I wore that hat for, I mean, until he was 18, he needed me all the time. And now he just doesn't. So that hat is like, when I have to put it on, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to be a mom. How do I give mom advice? Because now I'm just like a bro with him, I'm like
right.
We made this when he was 4, so that's kind of why I brought him up.
Oh, that's
I
super
just found
cool.
this in a box, so I did dust it off. Really.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it wasn't a metaphor.
Okay,
before we get into weird stuff, he's like, okay.
Okay.
You have something very special and important that you're doing right now with Ukraine and your music. I want you, before we dive into anything else, I want to give you the chance to shout that out and tell people how to help and support you through that.
Okay, I feel really weird right this second because like that's a really serious issue I need to discuss, but I'm also wearing a comedy hat. So let me just get that out of the way. It's
a leveling thing that we do as well. We make you laugh, but we're telling you some serious stuff here.
Yeah, I got to try to put on a more serious hat here.
I'll put on one on how people actually probably feel.
There you go. That's a more serious, kind of a somber thing. That's good. I've got that's nice. Yeah, okay, so what we're doing with Ukraine, we did this tune. We put together this tune over the past few weeks for the purpose of just raising as much money as we can with it for all of that to go to humanitarian aid for the victims in Ukraine. We've done things like this before. It's always something that's been a part of our band. And we're going to donate every penny we get. We did the track at our expense. We're not taking a cut. It's not just profits. It's not 75%, 50, like whatever we get for it, we want it to go to humanitarian aid for Ukraine.
Right.
And where can we find it?
At first, we're probably just going to have it on our website because like that's how we can get 100% of the money. That's the thing. It's like once you start going to streaming or like all that stuff, everybody takes a cut. And if we stream it, you'll have to stream it 1 million times before we get $1 for it. So like all that, eventually we'll have it in all those places just so people can find it at some point.
Yes, as a song itself.
Yeah.
And so how can we help you guys get that out there more?
Oh, being on here is a great thing. I mean, it'll be out I mean, I can send you things on Facebook and Instagram and all that. And if you could repost it or whatever, that would be huge. Just spreading the word because people are generous. And we're not asking for millions of dollars here. It's like if everybody throws $1 in and we can spread the word to as much people, like that could make money. So I'd really love to do that to help people out.
Yeah. And I mean, we have the Dirty Sisters group, which those women are just very compassionate and very helpful as well. So getting it out in there too will be really
she
helpful
calls them
as well.
Compassionate. Dirty Sisters has a compassion project where it's a closed group. There's the compassion project where we get the donations and they go towards something in need. So this is like right online with
what we've been doing and it's
a little more worldwide.
It's
definitely needed.
No, you do a lot to help people. I see you do a lot to help people and there's a lot that I want to talk to you about at some point because I think it's really great everything that the two of you do.
We started out and we didn't know really what we were doing, so like we've been leaning on each other for a lot, and so we really push each other to we want the world to change, and so I think this is like what we're doing is so much in the direction of actually getting some type of change.
I can't stand it when people say things like, oh, you can't change the world, and I'm not saying I can or you can, but it's all of us together. Like, yes, we can. Like, if we all just commit to that, yes, we absolutely can. So, anything we can do to change anything for the better isn't that what our goal should be as humans who are here? Like, what are we doing while we're here? Don't we want to leave the world a better place than we found it?
There is a way to change the world. You just really have to do what we're doing is connecting. I mean, you're all the way in Florida. We're in California. So it's like, but we're connecting, and now we're going to have this connection where you're going to be, helping out here and we're going to be helping out there. And, we're all helping each other.
It's one conversation and it takes it coast to coast. And that takes it, the humanitarian efforts, the musical efforts, you know, just the livelihood and like the fun and the happiness, it takes it coast to coast. And it's, I don't know, it does take a village, and welcome to the village. And we're glad to be part of yours.
Yeah, for
Awesome.
sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, so you relocated.
I did.
What has been one of the hardest parts about that?
Being away from the band and all my other friends there. You know, I moved to Lawrence, Kansas, I don't know, 17, 18 years ago, whatever it was, when I was, you know, just a young man. And I put roots down there, and I made a lot of great people out there, and made a lot of great friends. And of course, you know, the band, and I still travel a lot. We still play shows, all that stuff, but just the day to day of like being able to go over to one of their houses whenever I want. Like that's the thing that you really miss, you know? Yeah.
So how often do you guys get together?
Whenever I fly out there.
Which is, do you get to do that often, or is it like not very much? Or?
So far I've only done it once. We spent the winter pretty much just trying to get our life built here.
Yeah.
And then about a month ago, I went back. We played a show back there, kind of a homecoming show, and, you know, linked up with the band, did a half of a practice, and then went and played a show. So that was cool. And I'm planning on being back at least once this summer, you know, maybe twice. So
do you fly?
Hopefully every few months. Yeah. There's actually direct flights from Fort Myers Airport into Kansas City. So it's really not that bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice. With Dirty Sisters, we actually met through Feeling Good with Duddy. Duddy B from Dirty Heads, his podcast. We like podcasts. There's this whole community of people who will listen. They know your podcast. Like, I like that
one
hat.
Fits. I was like, that one fits your head though.
Well, it does, but the problem is like the hats that I do have that are like that, they don't fit my hair. So it's like I don't have anything. I've never met a hat big enough to put all my hair up in.
Yeah.
So, and many have tried.
Well,
but no one succeeded.
Like to make one?
Yeah.
Or to find one?
I've never found one. I've had people make them and they all say it's going to be big enough, and it never is.
Oh, okay. Because we could probably make that happen. Because she
cool.
does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
right.
She's looking at you like, I can do this. And I was just going to say it.
Did you see my face?
We're like that way. I'm like, she can do it.
Take on the challenge. Take on the challenge.
It's bigger than a pillowcase, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Already sized up your head. So if people don't know what we're talking about, he has 20-year-old dreads, right?
So
yeah.
Some people might not know that your dreads.
Yeah. It's
right?
it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I mean, they're beautiful.
That is so crazy. Yeah.
And I'm like, dang. Everybody probably has a million questions, and they're probably always the same question.
How long did it take?
Yeah, how long did it take is the number one question.
How long did it take?
Yeah, that's the first one.
I liked your answer the other day on Scott's. You said time, a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, that's all it takes if you want, you know, just wait. That's all. Yeah. That's all it really is just time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not blonde, but I can only describe it as a blonde moment. Where I met someone who had 10-year dreads, and I asked him, if you brushed it out, how long would your hair be? Mm-hmm. And he said, well, it wouldn't still be connected.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure you couldn't.
No.
Do you think like if you were to cut it, would you have to shave it to start over, or would you be able to cut it at?
I mean, my hair is not coming out. Like there's nothing I could do about, like, I don't have straight hair, you know. I have type 4 hair. So if you know, to kind of answer the question, if I didn't have dreads, I would have the world's biggest afro is what it would be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, you did something, and I like it. I think it's so awesome. I can't wait to see you in person, like playing on stage, just to like see the actual pictures are amazing.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We want to bring Josta in for a minute. She's
cool.
Yeah.
You've been talking with her, and
that's my bud.
Give her a chance to say hello. We just brought Josta onto our team as our booking person. And so
we want to give a shout out to her and also introduce her on the show, because we haven't introduced her as part of our team yet. And so we wanted to do that and just thank her for hooking us up too, and just, you know, starting off really good, because
she has a few questions, and they're really good questions. We might have just lost her. While we're waiting to see if she gets my message, we have more questions for you. We had a couple people we posted for people to ask questions. And one of them is, okay, while you are, I looked up and it was different. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So you were in Kansas. You said, is it Kansas or Kansas City?
It's Kansas, but it's right by Kansas City. It's really the Kansas City metro area.
Okay.
We lived in Lawrence, Kansas, which is where the University of Kansas is, and it's just outside of the Kansas City metro area.
Okay. Because sometimes I mix them up.
Yeah.
So
that's what they get for having a Kansas City, Kansas and a Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah,
right
you're like,
to each
where?
other. Like
Which
they were asking for this.
I'd go to the wrong one for sure. I'd be at the wrong one. Like, where the fuck are you guys? I'm fucking here. That would be me.
Wrong state,
You're
Melissa.
far.
Now that you've moved and relocated, is how you draw inspiration, like when you need to write or when you need to practice or when you need to jam, where do you draw your inspiration from, and has it changed since you moved?
Well, everything we do is conscious. So all of our lyrics are conscious. Every tune that we do is conscious. So but sometimes there are personal feelings that can generate me to start writing that eventually turn into something conscious. But I'm just like any other writer, like whatever emotions you're experiencing, joy or pain or, depression or whatever like that, eventually that all finds its way into the music.
We see you,
Maybe
your box, Justin. I don't know if you can hear us.
Yeah.
But hi. So I like that answer. We don't really, we don't write lyrics or anything, but we kind of have the same situation where we have our podcast.
Yeah.
It's based around our life, what we're going through,
what we see others going through, how we feel we can help, or how we feel others can help too.
And you do have to channel exactly how you're feeling all of the time and use it to your benefit. Like I have chronic pain, and you have to laugh through it or you have to fight through it. But then there are days where you just can't. Yeah. And so each day will give you a different kind of inspiration.
Right.
And how you choose to use it, and like the vibe that you get out of it will shape the music or shape the episode or
right. Or if I just shut down for the evening and put on Netflix because I don't want to be inside my own head anymore.
Yeah.
Like whatever it takes, right? Like whatever.
Yes.
I mean, I know what that is. Like I'm dealing with the mental health issues right now, and I've had some bad days, and I'm like, okay, on those good days, I'm gonna just do whatever I can. The same when you're, going through medical things. On those good days, you're gonna do every little thing. And then, sometimes people are like, well, I mean, how are you able to do all of that? And then today you're just like that. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. But when you find out, let me know too, because I don't like this. It's cool. Like, I don't know if you know, but Jessie and I, we both quit drinking for different reasons, like 2 years ago, before we even knew each other. So when we met, neither one of us drank. We had both quit not too long before that. I mean, that's where I get my inspiration, is just life is beautiful. And why don't we all just get together and make it beautiful together instead of trying to be separate people all the time, like
when we met, we both realized we were going through the same kind of situation, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
We have the same path. We came from different backgrounds and we ended up in the same location.
Yeah. And now it's not about like what she's doing or what I'm doing. Like, we're doing this because like we want everybody to feel the same way too. Like, and
so how do you guys use your music to like spread your point or how you're feeling? Like, oh, I know one of the questions, and it actually applies to this, is when you first introduce your music to people, what song would you go to? What songs do you give them that you feel like are the strongest that represent you and your band? Yeah,
I mean, for me personally, and it would be different answers from everybody in the band because they're not as lyrically focused as I am. But for me, it's there is a message, and we're not trying to. We try not to be a preachy thing. It's just how I feel. It's just one person's worldview looking at this, going, we need to stop with all the messed up stuff. Just stop all the wars and racism and sexism and all that nasty. Like, why are we still doing that?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me that after this long on the planet, we still haven't figured out how to shed all that nonsense. A lot of times, I mentioned that all we do is conscious. some of that stuff is a little more the celebration of life thing. You were saying a minute ago about life is beautiful. Why can't we, we got a tune like that. What the tune back on our first album, we say, this life is beauty. Let's be free and groove along. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's
yeah, why are we all fighting? Jeez.
Yeah, like,
we're all just
like,
human trying to make it, like trying to do the same shit. We're trying to live. I don't even know. My eyes were closed for a really long time because I partied hard, and I was drinking for a good 10 years very heavily. And the last couple years of it, I knew like it wasn't what I wanted to do forever. And I knew that I had to do something. It took a lot. And now that I did, like, I'm like, dang, I missed out on so many beautiful opportunities, but also I was supposed to do it when I did it, because this is when it was all supposed to be happening. So like Jessie and I were supposed to meet at this time. We were supposed to be having this conversation. And
you're supposed to be in Florida.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
No, I feel the same way about everything in life.
Yeah.
I was talking when I was with Scott the other night, because he and I were originally supposed to do that like a year ago, and a bunch of stuff happened, and then all of a sudden it's a year later.
Yeah.
And to me it's like, well, then it wasn't supposed to happen then. It's supposed to happen now.
Yeah.
And everything you've done in your life has led up to this moment. I used to think, oh man, I should have had kids when I was younger, because it's a little bit tougher when you're older and you're having kids. And it's like, well, I wasn't ready to have kids back then. I was in no condition to be anyone's parent when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
So no, like, you're right. Everything happens when it's supposed to.
I agree. And then there's no sense in questioning it either, because then you're wasting the energy that you have to dedicate to that time. Like, that one's too small. That one's too big.
This one's just right.
Yeah. like just to let you know, so when I was in my first band, I used to wear this hat on stage a lot. I didn't have any hair back then. I used to wear this hat on stage a lot. I got this tune at a Fishbone show, and this is my official Fishbone hat. Fishbone, of course, being one of the greatest bands of all time, and more people need to get hip to Fishbone. They've been around for like 40 years, and people need to be paying attention to them because they're the OGs in a lot of this movement, and they don't get nearly as much respect as they deserve. Yeah. I'm gonna move past that now, because I'm a little passionate talking about Fishbone.
We're gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but part of it is that you don't have to move past it, because every day we have the opportunity to bring those people up.
Yeah.
Yep.
We started as a Dirty Heads fan group.
Yeah.
And then we realized, oh, it's so much more than that. The things that are 40 years deep that we haven't, like, people are missing out. And okay, so it gets into this whole thing. I know that you're so knowledgeable about everything reggae.
Yeah.
How
like
do
you do a lot of research and everything on it too as well, right?
Yes. What is your opinion on California reggae?
Okay, so first I have to first I have to say I have respect for everyone as people, number one, and number two, if you're a musician, you take the time to learn an instrument, you get up on stage, you play, you're putting yourself out there, especially if you're playing original music. I got nothing but respect for you. I really don't have opinions on different types of reggae, Hawaiian reggae, Cali. To me, I grew up in South Florida back in the 90s. When reggae wasn't really all that popular in Florida, or man, I moved away for almost 20 years. I came back and reggae's popular here. When I left, it was not. You'd see all the same people at the Bob Marley festival every year, and that was it. But now, so I have respect for anyone who, everyone's keeping this music alive. This music could have disappeared, like a lot of music has over the centuries.
Right.
So I think Cali reggae is beautiful. All music is beautiful, and all reggae is beautiful. If there's one issue I have with the American scene at large, I do wish the spirituality and consciousness was emphasized a little bit more. That was a little bit less of a party atmosphere. But I can't, I like love songs and party songs too. Like, I dig that stuff too. I just do wish some more of the spiritual and conscious bands, because there are some out here. I do wish they got a little bit more play. I do wish the OGs and the bands from Jamaica that are still doing it, I do wish they got pumped up more in the US.
Yeah.
So those are really the only things. I do wish we could bring that back to the center of the American reggae movement.
Yeah.
I actually just saw The Professor the other night.
Oh.
Part of Dirty Sisters is we wanted to take it away from the California reggae and the rock reggae and the pop reggae and just make it reggae.
Cool.
and just have everybody, you know, who wants to spread that same type of love involved in it. Because when we were just a Dirty Heads only Facebook page for the women, it was like, dang, but all these women love all these other bands, and they're out at all these other shows, and they're rocking the Dirty Sisters name, they're saying it out there. But so, you know, we decided, well, it needs to be everywhere. Like, so everybody needs to have this this kind of sisterhood that we have, whether it's brotherhood or sisterhood. It's just that unity of family. Instead of being against each other, you're always there to lift each other up.
That's awesome.
You already answered the question partially, but what is something that people always get wrong about reggae or like the Rastafarian culture that you would like to tell them, hey, work on this, or stop doing that, or do more of this?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, like, I don't want to, and I can't tell anyone, you know, don't do this, don't do that.
Right. But in your opinion,
what would be the positive side of it?
Yeah. Sorry. I do dig what you're saying. Like I was saying about the kind of the party culture, I do wish it's a double-edged sword, because part of the reason reggae grew so much in this country is because of the weed association, you know, but at the same time, it's like, that's never been what real reggae music is about. And there might be discussed sometimes, but for that to be a centerpiece of it, or for partying to be a centerpiece, like if we go back to the roots, and let's be real, we need to be real about all this. And you got Jay on your show. We have to be real, right? This music came from Black folks in Jamaica.
Yes.
Right? So there's a certain amount of respect and honor that needs to be paid to that.
Yes.
And while, you know, it's not like it was all, some people like to think that reggae was founded entirely by Rastas, and that there's never, you know, there was never love songs. But no, it's not true. As long as there's been reggae music, there's been all types of reggae music. Right. But it's that respect, you know, I want to keep the respect. It is difficult sometimes. People who don't know reggae, they might know Bob Marley, but their second association is weed, and it doesn't really need to be like that. What about the music? What about the music itself?
That's what we encounter all the time, and that's one of the main things that we want to also say is, like, that's not the weed. I mean,
we did a car show. That was the number one, exactly how you described it, is they'd say, what is your organization about? It's about reggae. You could tell the people in their body language who would go, oh.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and so I mean, unfortunately, we're usually high when we're telling people about Dirty Sisters.
You know, there's nothing wrong with smoking. It's not that, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, what if another style of music was associated only with alcohol or something? You know what I mean? It's like, it's, you know, nobody wants that. You want it to be, and it's ignorance. It's people who don't know. So it's like, you know, if I say, oh, I know very little about country music, and we'll use a stereotype, oh, it's all pickup trucks and beer, and it's like, well, no, it's not. No, it's not. You know, so you know, the gimmicks or the messages that get floated through, those things are what get across to the ignorant, and those are the only things that they remember. And it's like, man, you know, this is a deep spiritual form of music that grew out of other styles of music and has now grown into other styles. There would be no hip hop as we know it if it wasn't for the Jamaican sound systems coming to New York in the 70s. I mean, so like it was influenced by so much, influenced by American R&B and jazz and soul and rock and roll. And then
I was gonna say, even like the music in Louisiana, there's like the stemming from it, like it branches off into so many. That's why I asked about the California reggae, because it is more of like the white surfer stoner. I don't remember the word.
No, I get it, you know, but for me, like, why I started my podcast, I started it for a few reasons. One of them was just to help promote artists. Like, I genuinely want to help lift everyone up. I'm not in a competition. There's room for all of us. Let's lift each other up. I want, you know, unknown artists to be known. I want known artists to be known even more, whatever. The other thing was, I was coming across, as a person who's now on the older half of the reggae scene, I was meeting a lot of the young cats, and they were talking, you know, Revolution, Slightly Stupid, Dirty Heads, all those great bands, but they didn't know, you know, Toots and the Maytals. They didn't know Wailing Souls. They didn't know Peter Tosh. And it was like, okay,
Oh, I just got that. I just got that album, the Toots. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. And for me, I wanted to educate myself because I didn't know the bands of today. I kind of went through like the early 2000s, and it's like I did not catch I didn't know a lot about Dirty Heads and know a lot about so like part of it is self-education too. But that whole thing of like, we all need to know everything. We all need to know if you're into rock and roll, the Rolling Stones. So if you're if you're in the reggae, you ought to know who Joseph Hill was and stuff like that. Like it's just, so let's all educate ourselves,
Yes. And I'll be completely honest, I don't know everything either. And so like meeting people like you and you giving us the knowledge that you have, I want to like just take it all in and embrace it and know it and make it, part of what I do.
She said, I need to ask him to give me lessons.
I said, can he just be my mentor?
Because we can't have a reggae organization and do it wrong.
Yeah, I don't want us to do anything wrong. And so it's nice for us to.
But I told her, first she has to watch all your episodes, then she can ask the questions.
There's a lot of them. Don't make her sit through all of them. I was like, there's a lot.
It's the spark notes.
Actually, I just need bullet points, please.
None of us know everything. I mean, I've been knee deep in reggae for 30 years, but none of us know anything. That's not what matters. What matters is that we have an open mind and that we want to learn about what came before us, and how important it is that we want to learn about what came before us.
Yeah.
Well, we want to.
I have one thing. Can we send you a new Zoom link, because this one's gonna expire?
Yeah, I know the drill. Go for
it. All right, cool. So we're gonna do it real quick, and I'll send that back over to you because it's gonna end right now.
You got it.
Cool. All right. We'll be right back.
Pee break.
Oh, you know what? I need to let it end probably so that it will. Or do I just push end?
Yeah, if you end it, it'll still,
record.
We'll be back.
We'll be right back.
Surprise!
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, is it volume?
Is it Christmas? It's Christmas now. Oh, when y'all switch sides. You're trying to confuse me.
We relocated.
I see how you are. Yeah.
This is the other part of our studio. We have a couple.
Is that Oz?
Offices. Huh?
Are you in Oz?
Yeah, we get weird.
We have a lot of fun. Initially we started our podcast because we just wanted to enjoy life and have fun. And dang, it just came up. I mean, having you as guest and just meeting everybody that we get to meet is just super amazing. I was telling her, cool. This is really cool. It's a really good time.
So humble and nice. And it's like such a fun balance of like, I don't know, everybody's just so human and it brings it all together.
Well, and it's nice when an artist keeps themselves at the same level as their fans. In their mind, they feel like they're not better than each other. I like that about you as well, because you're very good with your fans and you're just an equal, and that's awesome. And that's what all artists should be, because if it, like Jessie and I talk about this a lot, if it wasn't for the fans, the artist wouldn't get where they're going. And so I like that there's humble artists such as yourself who appreciate the fans.
My number one philosophy on life is I'm no better than you and you're no better than me. I mean, simple. I don't look down on anyone, and I'm not looking up at anyone either. Like, we're all humans. None of us have more value as individual. It's one human life. That's it.
And everybody brings a different gift to the table as well. It's like Jessie brings something to the table that I don't bring to the table, but I bring something to the table that she doesn't. And everybody does that, and that's when
it's funny to say that to somebody in a band.
Yeah.
He's like, I know.
I didn't think about that as like a friend.
No.
It reminds me when I was young. I was about 17 years old, and I ran away, and I went out to Lake Tahoe, and we lived in like this house where. Well, we lived in a Volkswagen bus. We stayed in there for about 2 months, and every night for dinner we would all bring something. We would all bring something to put into the mush pot, pretty much, because that's what it was. We're all just eating a soup or eating a stew, whatever somebody brought in, and it's like I have those experiences, and it's really cool to go back and look and go, you know what? I really do have that. Like, I always had that passion. I just somewhere along the line I lost it, and now I refound it, and it's freaking magical. I love it. And I'm in awe meeting you too.
No.
I don't mean to make it weird. No. What she just described made me think of the cartoon Oliver and Company.
It's true, because if you want to eat more, then the more the merrier,
Yeah.
I mean, it was not.
Melissa's lived through a lot of different things than I have. What is one of the situations in life where you just look back and you're like, wow, I can't believe like I came out of that and look at how beautiful it is now? Do you have any where you look back and you're like, oh dang?
Yeah, like my entire life, like every day I wake up and I'm amazed. It's like, man, I'm still here. Like,
Yeah.
And I mean, like, no, like like I've lived a fairly clean life for a while, but I had my struggles with substances back in the day, like a lot of people do when they're young, and, still always having, mental health struggles like a lot of us have, and more people than usually let on. And I'm one of those people. Like I don't talk about my problems. It's a horrible thing. In fact, me and Bill, our bass player, who was supposed to join me in here tonight, I don't know what
He
happened.
still has
He's
time.
not
You
here.
should send him the new link.
I'm not sending him anything, because he was at the very least he was late. So
Oh,
no.
he missed out now. Look at all the fun we're having in Mushroom Land.
Yeah. Well, we talk about it as being, now he and I aren't old, but we're older, and seeing like we were that last generation to not talk about our feelings, right? Like we're Gen X, we're not millennials, we're not Gen Z, and we still grew up as the children of the grandchildren of people who fought in World War II, and the children of Vietnam, basically. My
it's
dad
weird
was
to
in
think I'm that age too.
But you start to realize, like, we weren't taught to talk about it, and I think it's beautiful that the younger generations do. Like, they're much more focused on mental health and talking things out. It's like, we didn't come up like that, and I'm probably not going to change now. I'm not going to start talking about my problems now. It just kind of is what it is. I kind of feel like it is what it is for me,
Right. And that's fine, and the thing is you just expressed that you do have them though. And so some people are able to work through them on their own, and like, such as yourself, and you're able to maybe you embrace it through your music, or when you're on stage, it helps you, or things like that. Things like this help me as well, like getting to the studio and interviewing. For the last 4 days, I've been super down, but I'm here and I'm smiling and I'm enjoying this. And it's like, people like you can show other people that even if they don't want to talk about it, they can still get through it, and they can still do amazing things. Yeah. And so you're doing amazing things. And
we can get together and talk about other things, and that'll make me that helps me feel better. Playing music, talking with people, laughing with people, joking with people, like that all improves it, right? So I don't have to sit down and tell you, this is what's bothering me, this is what I've been, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I
literally your music says it.
Yeah.
Your
it's
words
all in
your
there.
music say it all. You're literally telling us.
The like the stuff that goes on in the world, like it affects me, like, and it shouldn't, and maybe you should just like pick up and get on with your day, because we all have to, right? Like, no matter what's going on, like, as much as we want to help the people in Ukraine, just as an example, like, I still got to get up in the morning, I still got to figure out how I'm going to make money today so we can eat. Like, we all have those problems, but like, man, seeing that stuff, it's just like, it sucks so bad, and it's like, how do you not let that affect you?
So would you consider yourself an empath?
Oh yeah, like too much, too much. I'll drive by, you drive down the road and somebody's on the side of the road with a flat tire, and it's like, most people just drive right past them. I'm not saying, but like, for me, it's like
you.
Like, I feel like even if I can't help, like, I'm not gonna come on, I don't know cars, like, I can change a tire, but they're doing fine, they don't need me to stop. But it's just driving by, it's like, oh man, I feel so, like, I'm sure they were on their way to something important, and now this is gonna wreck their day, and it's gonna cost them. It's like, I feel all that stuff, man, just from a flat tire. So, it's like, damn it.
I'm sure there's somebody out there right now. It's a weird balance. She's been really good at helping me notice that about myself as well. She's like, dude, stop taking on everybody's problems. Stop it. And I'm like, but I have to. Like, it comes very naturally to me as well to want to fix and help people, because I feel their pain very, very heavily. So yeah, I can understand and relate to you 100% on that.
That's where we kind of dove into reggae, and we were using reggae as our tool to make more people feel better. Music does speak to people on a level, like I get goosebumps in listening to songs.
Yeah.
If it's at a certain level, my skin is lumpy.
Yeah.
Like music speaks, and you know, you don't have to tell people what you're going through for them to know the feeling that you're feeling.
Yeah.
People will relate. And people will take your words, you know, it'll help them through what they're going through as well.
Right.
Dirty Sisters is trying to help people. You're trying to help people. I like how you did the humanitarian thing. Like you said, you still have to wake up, go through your day. You're still going to drink a cup of coffee, knowing that there's people, you know, their whole world is upside down. You still have to go to work. You still have to, you know, do bedtime and wear the dad hat. It's the best life that they can, knowing that there are some kids who aren't.
Right.
But that's where I appreciate the one love. Because you're still giving. And as long as you give, you have that.
Yeah, and reggae is such an uplifting music. It's not like, of all the styles of music, right? Like there's a greater chance for positivity and uplifting vibes than there is in most other forms of music. So I think that's why I gravitated towards it, because for me, there was a lot of darkness when I was younger. And it's like, it's so easy to get sucked into that, or to listen to bands that kind of have those vibes. And it's like, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why it's like, yo, like I need something to counterbalance this, or I'm gonna lose my freaking mind. So you know, that's what makes reggae so beautiful, because it's heartbeat music. It's that pulse. And so we feel it. You feel that right here, because that's what it is.
The pulse, that feeling. That's how people kind of recognize it too, is that the bass line and the drum beat, the pulse of the music, that's what gives it reggae. We followed the Dirty Heads for a long time, and Daddy B would always say Dirty Heads isn't reggae, but they still use the bass line, and that was like the pulse of it was the connection. And then the fans of that group turned it into a family. And so even on the genres where it branches out to a level where it's like, well, it's not necessarily reggae, it still has that heartbeat and that bloodline and that one love that brings it back into it.
See, I see reggae as a spectrum. It's not a narrow thing, right? And I think it's important that we do, you know, the Streetlevel Uprising's not straight, right? We don't sound like we came out of Kingston in 1975, and we shouldn't. And we shouldn't, because then you're just copying something that came before you. You're supposed to filter your other influences through it and come out with something a little bit different, right? That's what you're supposed to do, right? We're not supposed to be note for note copying anyone. But it's important that we recognize that we are all on this reggae spectrum. I don't want people to think that we're not. And I've heard that before with Cali bands where they're like, oh, we're not reggae, we're Cali roots. Well, where'd you get them Cali roots from? They came from reggae. I agree. Like, I understand what they're trying to say. They're trying to let you know, hey, don't think we're straight roots reggae. We're not. That's cool, but you are on the reggae spectrum, because that's where you got, you know, the foundation of what you do from. And be proud of that and represent it and say, yeah, it's not all we do, but it's a big part of what we do.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
It's like the vibe of it, and it keeps it together. And I don't know, the fans, like, we've just met such wonderful people through the music community that it's changed my life on like a completely different level.
A whole nother level, like, big time.
So have you experienced any fans where they come up and they just tell you like, man, this song or this show? Do you have people who reach out to you on that level?
Yeah. It happens, you know, once in a while. We're not a widely known band.
Well, you're gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna.
That's really cool you say. But no, we do, look, we all felt that. Like, we've all seen bands where we feel like we've all met people. My favorite thing about life, I think about this all the time. All right, a week ago, I didn't know either of you, did I? Never talked to you, never messaged, nothing.
No.
Now we know each other, right? That's great. I didn't know you yesterday, but I know you today. who are we going to meet tomorrow?
Yeah.
And that's one of the most beautiful things about life is that mystery of, you know, and yeah, things could go wrong tomorrow too, but that's not the way I choose to think about it. It's like, who will I meet tomorrow? Think of all the people you've met in your life, especially because of music that you wouldn't have known otherwise. And it's like, how freaking beautiful is that?
Well,
But the other thing as well is that even if did something go wrong, you just met all these people. One of them might be able to help you even.
Yeah. We've met so many amazing people just because of what we're doing right now. And what's really cool is like people want to be involved in what we're doing. So it's super cool.
Okay.
I want to be involved in what you're doing. I think
so
it's
you want to be a filthy bro.
Well, you are involved. We got you.
Say yes, then you're already stuck. That's kind of the way that it goes with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I feel you.
So you just moved to Florida, which means that you get to bring your band to Florida and kind of expand a little bit.
Yes.
Which even if they didn't plan to, now they do because we just said it.
Yeah.
Well, they're in Kansas. Of course, they want to come to Florida.
Yeah, they're already packing their bag.
I could get them to come here in the winter for sure.
Yeah, well, and that's
that we also wanted to bring that up too, because what we're doing as well started off because California reggae, Florida reggae, we're all on the coast. What
you and
about
Scott discussed this a few times. It was brought up. Reggae is stronger in those scenes because of the sunshine.
Yes. 100%.
So what about those that are there in the snow? We want them to know that they're not alone and that they can still be a part of everything that's happening.
Yeah, and that's why we were always proud to, and I still represent Lawrence, Kansas. I still do.
Yeah.
And I want people to know.
Is that Kansas okay?
Yeah.
Because I know there was a tornado today.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, there was a tornado in Kansas today.
I'll have to look that up when we're done.
You should, yeah.
Check your people.
It's actually one of the things that made us, we moved back to Florida for family reasons, but one of the things that kind of sparked it for me a couple of years ago was huddling in the bathtub, because we didn't have a basement, huddling in the bathtub with all four of us and the dog right next to us as a tornado went basically a quarter mile south of our house. So it's like, it's one of those things where you're sitting there, you're like, I might have some different things I want to do with my life,
Yeah.
So it kind of, one of those moments that sparks new ideas and new vibes,
Yeah, I've never been near a tornado, but I don't want to.
I'll take an earthquake any day.
No.
I love the floor shaking.
I mean, at least I know, like, we're either gonna just crash down and be done. But I mean, that's
tornadoes don't play. They don't play.
No, it's scary, and
I love nature.
It's okay when it's not hurting houses or people.
I like that.
Let me explain about the hat. I'm not Irish. It might be one of the few things I'm not, because I'm made up of like 10 other things. But this was given to me on a St. Patrick's Day by a very dear friend of ours who passed away a couple years ago. So I still kind of take it out on St. Patrick's Day and wear it for a few minutes to honor our friend Byron who gave me this hat. So
I like that.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you're wearing it, honoring him right now. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Jessie.
No, that was even better. I mean, that was way more important.
I'm out of hats. I think that's all of them.
We've been recycling them. That's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to wear no hats.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you just have to be like,
okay, so now that you have the opportunity to expand into Florida, which you're definitely going to do, like you said, the reggae scene is way different now. Available. Where is your goal to play with your band? Where
ideal venue?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing for us as an up and coming band is to be able to play some of the festivals, some of the bigger reggae festivals. That's really the step that we need to take, because we played around the Midwest. I can bring them down here. We can tour Florida fairly easily. We can do little short tours all over the place, but festivals are always the best because they expose you to the most, largest amount of people and all that.
Right.
And so that's really the next step for us, is like, we're just dying to get into festivals and stuff, because that would be such a huge step for our band.
Yeah. And there's a lot of festivals out there in Florida.
Yeah.
There
really are. Yeah.
I would love to be able to go to some of those.
Well, when you make it, we plan to see you there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you're going to be And it's one of those things where you're already putting in the work, you already have the love, you already have the dedication to it.
Yeah.
Now what it comes down to is like emails.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, the emails.
Yeah.
And then also like Facebook and I don't know how to say it, and algorithms. They're just ridiculously crazy, and it's hard to just get it out there, and like shares and such are just so ridiculous.
It was so much easier like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Facebook was way better for marketing. If you didn't pay, your posts got out to more people. If you did pay, your posts got out to more people than they do now if you pay. And it's like they just got so greedy that it just took everything down, and they just want money, money, money.
Yeah.
So it makes it tougher for a band. And I think most bands are not making a living at this. They're not trust fund babies. Most bands, like us, working class, middle class, whatever.
Their hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it does make it tough on bands to use Facebook, and it's a shame because it did start off as like a pretty cool platform. We gained a lot of fans early when I started working with Facebook, and it just tails off if you're not willing to pony up the dough all the time.
Right. And what another reason why we wanted to take Dirty Sisters and make it into an organization outside of Facebook itself and just make it actually into the communities is because Facebook is one of those things where people like us or people like artists, they are starting to realize that maybe there's going to be something better that comes along that's going to help them promote better. And maybe there's going to be a new version of Facebook, which isn't Facebook at all. And then Facebook will be gone and we won't have those connections. So now we have the connections outside of just Facebook, outside of just the internet. And, ideally that's what's supposed to happen. You reach a lot of people really in person.
That's what I was gonna say. She just said that the other day. You reach more people in person now than you do
on the internet.
The big internet marketing companies won't like to hear me say this. Think of how many people you can reach online. Think of how much touring you'd have to do. I get it, but the bands that changed your life, a lot of them probably changed your life the first time you saw them live. Not the first time you saw some 5 seconds video go past you online, right?
Right.
So we can reach a lot of people online, but you make it's called a personal connection. You can't make a personal connection online. That's not a personal connection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can reach a lot of people online, but you have to hit them over and over and over. There's a stat, it's like 5 times.
Yeah.
Like somebody has to see your video 5 times to even remember your name. And so you have to pay to reach them 5 times before and that can work. There's a lot of bands who are very profitable doing that online, but there's also still something very much to be said about getting in the van and going and playing for people.
Agree with the connections as well. Ooh, more hats.
It was cool because she did just say that the other day. You reach more people in person, and I was like, wow, that's weird because I'm not good in person.
But no, and a lot of the times that we're interviewing or whatever, we're trying to go out into the community as well and meet bands that are a lot of the bands that we talk to, they're like right there. They're about to explode. They're about to blow up. They're about to be big. And getting like you and like getting to know you guys before you do that, like we're all part of each other's history or path now. And so we want to help everybody, like what you're doing, all the artists get out there. And so what we're doing is we can help promote it maybe a little bit more too than just, what you guys are able to do. So,
for sure. For sure. Absolutely. And like everything that you're doing for these artists is it's amazing. And it's so cool. Because it's not like you're doing anything and hey, we want something back from you. It's like it's just people helping people, and that's the coolest thing about it.
And that's where we wanted to make sure we were doing reggae right.
Yeah. We don't want to do anything wrong and then have somebody think that we're not real or something like that, because the world is different. Some people question you or question your ethic or what you're doing, and we've seen that in the amount of time that we've been doing. We've had to we've had people that are questioning, what are you guys doing, like what is this really, or because some things, we have a merch store or we have different things like that. We have those things so that our Dirty Sisters or our Filthy Bros or the people that are in this community, they're out and about at these shows or at these meetups. They know who their friends are. They know who we don't know people by faces, really. the people we meet on the internet and such. I mean, how often do you go scroll somebody's whole Facebook to make sure when you meet them, when you have 3,000 people, that
People
when
don't know what I look like if they look at my Instagram.
I mean,
I'm dressed as a man half the time.
but
Oh, yeah. Well,
I kind of lost my train of thought, but
Cheech and Chong was great, and so was Pee Wee.
Pee-wee, yeah.
Yep.
We're proud of those.
That was really, that one was really impressive. That was real. I was like, wow, like the work that you put into that. Like,
oh yeah, the Pee Wee, is
Yeah.
that the one you're saying?
Yep. Very nice.
The whole
And
playhouse.
Cheech and Chong too. I mean, making it look like the inside of the car. Like, I'm very familiar with that scene. I'm very familiar with that scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, it's all just about fun. It's about using what we all know, and it's about building each other up. It's
Yeah.
let's get together and feel all right.
Bob Marley gives them that sense of knowing. And so they're like, oh, Bob Marley, yes. And so it gives them that feeling of already being included and attached to it too. If they don't.
So, for people to know you more, you guys, your goals are festivals, which is a great way that, like you said, hundreds of thousands of people at one festival. Excellent goal. We have some personal questions, and like I feel like we talked more about reggae than just your band. So I mean, feel free at any point to jump in and like say like, no, it's about the music, it's about our band, because we are here to share the song. And that's why I wanted to start off with that. Like, tell us about the song, tell us about the goals, tell us about that. Now we want to ask personal questions so that we know you and what you're about. It's something I ask everybody I meet because it helps me gauge how they feel about themselves. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
It's easy to say a lion or something like that.
Yes.
But I'm gonna try to go away from the more mundane answers, and I'm gonna say a dragonfly.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I just think dragonflies are dope. I think they're crazy, cool looking aliens, and no two are the same, and there's all kinds of wing shapes and colors and all that, and dragonflies are badass. So yeah.
I love dragonflies. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I've never heard that answer before either. That's really nice.
And we've actually brought up how you said you started out with you have the obligation to say lion.
Yeah.
Because it has like that.
Yeah, that's my son's name. His name is Lion.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Right? Well, that might be his animal then.
Yeah.
It would have to be. I mean, if that's your name, you can't say, "Oh, I want to be an eagle." No, like no, you're kind of stuck with that there.
Right.
Now we have to ask him.
Ask him what animal he would be.
The reason it's a personal question is because you think about the unique qualities, like you said, you described white, the unique wing shape and how no two are the same, and the individuality of them. It's the beauty in the uniqueness and the beauty in like the strangeness of it. Those are the qualities that you found in an animal right now and embodied of yourself and took it into a new body. I like that question because it makes you consider, like, it's not just what's pretty or what's strong. It makes you consider how you would exist in the world in a different form.
Well, what's your answer? What would you be?
I have two that I go back and forth between. One would be a poisonous butterfly and one would be a poisonous tree fly.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they both have multiple lives where like they live as one form, transform into a new one.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something about that just seems special to me, like different chapters of the life, and they all each have their own beauty and they each have their own purpose.
Right. But don't try to hurt them or you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And just leave me alone.
Yeah.
I just want to exist in the trees and be small and bright.
Yeah. Well, we all want to be left alone at a certain, like I always say, like, I'm the nicest person in the world until I'm not. And you know what I mean? Like that's
until it's like,
yes.
You know, there's in one of our tunes I said, I never troubled no one who didn't trouble me first. Like just leave me alone. Everything's going to be cool. And, we just get along and have a good time.
Yeah. I
See,
agree.
that lyric right there kind of is.
Yeah.
I like that
vibe. Right?
I'm not here to bother anybody.
Yeah. Live and let live, right? Like just be cool. Everybody just be cool. Everybody calm down. Yeah. Just be cool.
Yeah.
Enjoy the music.
Life can be a lot easier than what we make of it sometimes. Just be cool.
yeah.
Everybody be cool.
And like my favorite way to think is just it'll work out.
It's gonna be all right.
It usually does.
Yeah.
Or it always has so far.
It's gonna be all right.
Well, my question is just a very easy question, but apparently it tells a lot about your character as well. What is your favorite color?
My real answer is I do not have one. And that is the truth. I have some I like more than others, but my genuine answer is that I don't really have one. I've never, even when I was a kid, I never remember being like, oh, that's my favorite color. Now, our keyboard player, Zate, when I first met him, he's like, no, he's like, I need to know, like, you have to pick something.
Yeah.
So I went with,
there's not an answer for that.
Yeah, like he didn't take that. And you know, so what I like is color combinations. Obviously green, gold, red, and the significance that has for me in my life. And then, you know, other things, orange and black is a great combination, you know. So I do like color combinations. If is that okay?
I mean, I think that it just means that you're all of these things in one, and there's way too many of them to list. But because the way that this one works is if somebody picks a certain color, then there's a list of things that, you know, they
like certain colors tell your stronger traits.
So I don't,
to be able to say like I don't want to choose one. I don't know. It probably shows balance.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, for one thing, I'm not a visual person. You know, I'm just, it's not.
Are you not?
I'm not a visual person at all.
So,
at all. No.
I have a good question for you then.
Okay.
I don't know how to word it properly. How do you think? What does the inside of your mind do when you think? If you're not visual, do you picture colors? Do you picture shapes? There's a very specific word where people associate colors with sounds.
Yeah, not me.
And me either.
Yeah.
And I was having a conversation somewhere. Somebody said, "Oh, that's a blue name."
I've heard people do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that meant. So do you know how your brain thinks? To be able to acknowledge, like, some people think in color, do you have a way where you know how your mind travels?
I don't know. I mean, everything for me, I guess, is sound. It's all sound to me. It's all melodies. It's all words. It's all the sounds of words and things like that, you know? But yeah, I just like, I can't draw. I can't, you know, if I close my eyes, I can't really picture what anyone looks like, which I know is like tremendously weird. But yeah, just didn't get, I've got very bad eyesight and have my whole life. So maybe that's part of the reason it never, because I was always like, well, I can't really, even with my corrective lenses in, like, it's still not the best sight in the world. So maybe it's like, I just at an early age, just kind of shut that down and went, all right, you need to, you know, this might go, you're not doing well. This might go away on you entirely one day. Maybe you should focus on, I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's all about the ears for me.
That's cool. I like to know things like that. So when people would want to communicate with you, they would do it in a way through sound. Yeah,
no, I'll remember the sounds of your voice for the rest of my life. Like, that's just how I am, you know, but I don't know if I'm going to remember what you look like in my head an hour after we're done, because that's just not what I do, you know?
You know,
that makes sense.
This is something birds do. Fun fact, penguins are like this because they all look the same. Penguins rely on the sound of their squawk or whatever it would be.
That's cool. I like penguins too.
Penguins are really cool.
Penguins are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
So
they got that little,
who are the same.
they got that little shimmy when they walk.
And they look all fancy.
Yeah, they're all wearing tuxedos. They're all dressed up. It's every night is
ready to go.
For a penguin. Yeah.
Dressed up.
I like the macaroni ones with the funky little.
Oh yeah, they got like like they got the, like, giant eyebrows or something going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Melissa's question or someone else from Facebook. If you could be invisible or could read people's mind, which would you choose?
Invisible.
Why? You were very quick.
Wait, would I be permanently invisible, or could I turn that on and off?
No, you can turn it on and off.
Okay, then absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what people are thinking. I think it's a very like I love honesty.
Girl, I can already fucking feel it. I don't want to hear it too.
I'm honest to a fault, but like, do you really want to know everyone you meet what they're thinking about you? I don't. I really don't. And yeah, I just think that's just a mess. It's just,
What if you could turn it off and on?
I don't know. I also don't want to get in somebody's head. Like that's so
Right.
invasive. Like that's so
Yeah.
like what a viation of your privacy. And if I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, let me see what Jesse's thinking.
So what
about.
would you
Like,
do when you're
no.
invisible then?
Oh,
Invading people's privacy.
no, that would be more of like invading
He's on.
How
You
could
get in places for free if you're
Totally.
invisible.
I'd be at every show.
there would definitely be some Robin Hood action going on. There would be some government organizations or billionaires who were relieved of a little bit of their fortune for me to help people. I'd probably do something like that.
I would like to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the superpower I really want is to be able to stop time.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, why?
That's- yeah.
Eating hair.
Yeah.
Half for the same reason, because if you could stop time, you could definitely find some fun things to do with that, as far as
Yeah.
stealing from corporations or whatever else. But it seems like if you can control time, you can right wrongs, and you can save people from otherwise horrible fates. So it would be kind of cool to be able to control time like that.
You can also experience more perfect moments because
Yeah.
you can make it there.
Yeah, true.
I would love that, because then I wouldn't have anxiety about rushing anywhere. I just like, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
I chose invisible as well because if you were invisible and you cared enough to know what people think, all you would have to do is be in a room when they didn't know you were there.
That's a good point. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
their
She goes,
mind.
well, it's the same thing, Melissa. And I said, well, we'll see what he says.
No,
I look for the loophole.
And when I read her color back to her, hers was
Kind of spot on, and so was mine. So she does. She looks for that loophole. She's very questioning about like, what is this, before she wants to say yes and things like that.
I don't say yes.
a lot of
Times she does now. So a lot of things that we've done as well is we build each other's confidence up, not
Nice.
between just us, but other people as well. We like to give people, like, what we do is sometimes we'll like double team people. If we know that they're going through something and they're not going to push themselves, like we'll be like, one of us will be messaging them and the other will be messaging, and we'll be like, boom. And then finally they'll be like, fine, I'll do it.
So who in your band is the first to call you out when you're like not at your normal level?
Yeah. Cause you always need somebody to like push you.
You're a family, you're a
And-
team.
And you
Yeah,
had
no,
one-
we're. I mean, some of us are literally family. I mean, Bill, our bass player, he's my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
So, and I've known him since high school. So, Zate, our keyboard player, I've known him for like 15 years. Other guys in the band I've known for about 5 or 6 years. It's what we do. I mean, we all get along great. It's so cool to play with each other. We don't argue, we don't fight. We just, discuss stuff and whatever. We're all super easy going. But yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes there needs to be somebody who says, hey man, come on. And I would say that it would be Bill who's going to say something to anybody in the band, really. He and I have been doing this for a long time in different bands. And there are those moments when you're a little bit jaded and you're like, for us, this is just what we do. It's just, we've been doing this for so long in different bands. Playing music is what we do.
Yes.
And for us, there's no excuses. There's no, oh, I didn't learn that tune. Oh, I did. Like, nah, like that's not, no, are you a professional or not?
Yeah.
So, we're very much like, this is work. It's about getting the work done. And we do have fun. We have a lot of fun while we're working, but it's about the work. It's not about getting together and getting drunk. It's,
Right.
I don't drink and the rest of the guys in the band only drink a little bit. So there's, nobody's getting shit faced all the time.
Yeah.
It's not about getting together to party. If anything, we spend too much time chatting when we get
Yeah.
together when we should be practicing. But
Right.
now for us, it's about the work. It's the mission of playing music and going there and get it done.
Well, it's like, yeah, we can I can relate 100% because we do the same thing. We have to work hard in order for us to also succeed and do what we're doing. There's a
Yeah.
lot of times when you just want to up and quit and not continue doing something because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hard. But
Mhm.
like what we are learning is every time it's really hard, it's because you're leveling up, and you've never been to that level before. You literally, like we were discussing before, you literally have never been to that level in your life before. So now you're at that level, you have no idea what you're doing, and it's stressful, and you're pushing yourself. And it's nice to have band members or co-hosts or, you know, people that are very close to you to push you on those days where you're like just a little bit not able to or whatever. We, you know, we all pick each other up. Like having that kind of friendship or that kind of connection with people that you work very close with. I mean, imagine if you fought with them all the time. If her and I fought all the time, we didn't agree on stuff, we were just like all the time, then it's not fun. It's not something that is exciting. Yeah.
I mean, would you be with a significant other that you fight? Like, no, you break up. You know what I mean? You say adios. And a band is the same thing, or a partnership. Like, why do you want to do that to yourself? I don't want to do that to myself, man. If I'm not having, you know, an easy time, a fun time, and things happen, but you know, big stuff. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? I don't understand that. But see, most people, when people fail, a lot of times they fail just because they didn't hang in there long enough. Whether it's bands not being around. Look, we're not all overnight successes, and I can attest to that because I've been playing that damn guitar for damn near 30 something years, and you know, like I'm still clawing it. Like, you know, anything you've ever done, whether you learn to, I don't know, you go shoot pool for the first time and you say, oh, I like this. Well, if you're going to quit, you're going to keep doing it till you get good. Everything in life is like that. It's just don't quit. If it's something you want bad enough, just don't quit. And it's like, eventually you'll get there just because you've been in the things so long that now everybody, you know, now you've developed the skill, or now everybody knows who you are or whatever. It's just important just to not quit. Even if you need a break now and again, fine, but just don't give up ever.
Yeah. It's almost infuriating how the cliches are true. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
Yeah. They're real. Like there's a reason why people say those.
Most of the time when people are like,
whatever, I know, but it's true.
One thing, like you brought up the pop tire, and I mean, I don't want to get all talk about it, but I had a blown tire on the freeway last week.
Yeah.
Where like rocks your whole body, you know, and I had to get a new car.
Well, and we didn't give up that time, because when that happened, she could have just went home. She could have just been like, no, I'm going to go home. But instead, we ditched her car somewhere. We made it out to San Diego. We did these interviews. We got that Cheech and Chong episode. We kicked ass with it. And
it was like,
it was one of our best episodes, I think. So not trying to toot our own horns, but I mean,
no, but that's awesome. and I saw that, by the way. I saw those interviews.
Yeah.
Well, and there was that almost didn't happen because of an obstacle. Yeah. And I had that choice to go, am I going to keep pushing and go, or am I going to go home because this hurts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
you know,
and it was awesome. And so it's like, you said 30 something years, you're still pushing, and it's awesome.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, and this is going to sound harsh, but I'm talking about myself. I'm not projecting this to other people. But one thing that I've learned is we can talk all we want about, you know, whether it's mental health, leaning on each other, friendship, family, all that stuff. At the end of the day, there's no substitute for toughness. There's no substitute for saying, screw it, let's go get a different car and we're getting down there. There is no substitute for fighting, for being tough, and for just getting on with it and going about your business and not just taking your ball and going home. There's nothing else that's a substitute for that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And
you don't even realize it either.
Like, just that extra push though is like after you get, like when we got home that night after we did all those things, and even though it was extremely hard on both of us, we're, you know, both at our end, I think, when we both got home. The feeling of like, just, you know, we did it is, you know, I think the best feeling ever. So that's always, people have to have that feeling of accomplishment, and like knowing that when you have it, then you're like really happy you did it, always.
Every concert you guys do, every song you put out, every album,
everything is a baby step towards success. And it's, you know, you do something every day, your future self will thank you for. Every time you pick up a guitar, your future self is like, thank God you did it.
Well, and the other thing is, like, you know, me and Bill talk about this all on having done this in so many different bands, and so like for us, it's like well, what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like, am I just going to sit at home and watch TV all day? Like, I might as well do, if I'm going to do something, I might as well just keep doing this. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, just keep going, just keep fighting, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Pick a thing and just take it down.
Yeah. Whatever your thing is, whatever you're into, like, you know, give it everything you got, you know. And it's like and anything you do is worth doing right. And don't you want greatness? Like, everything you do, don't, like, you know, this show, don't you want it to be great? Don't you want everything you do with Dirty Sisters to be great? Don't you want, why do anything if you're not going to try to make it as good as you possibly can?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. If you don't do everything to make it as good as it can be, then it's just going to go away. And then it's not going to be anymore. And it's just going to be one of those things that used to be. And so, with Dirty Sisters, that's our focus, is like, we're not going to stop. We're just going to keep doing more and more and more. And like, even if people get annoyed with us, we're just going to just keep doing it, because there's a majority of people that aren't annoyed with us.
What she's saying, by doing it, we're going to keep doing it, is bringing people like you guys up with us.
Yeah.
We're freaking yelling it in people's faces, and we're excited about it. And we don't even care if they get annoyed, because we're like, no, you guys need to hear it. You need to.
Hey man, haters gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can't please everybody, especially online, where people get to be like cowards and hide because they know that you're not going to fly to where they are. Like, it's the internet. Like, when my kids got to the age where they went on the internet, I'm going to tell you what the internet is in a very succinct manner. Internet is a bunch of people saying stuff to each other that they wouldn't say to each other's faces, because they'd be picking their teeth up off the floor. And that's legit. Like, that's what happens. So especially like the online hate, it's like, first of all, think of how much negative energy someone has to have to leave a negative comment, or to hit the downvote button, or whatever they're doing. Like, think of what's good. If you don't like something, just keep going. I've never disliked it. I just keep going. If I'm not into it, keep going. I don't have to make a comment.
Oh my God, I dislike that so much. I go,
So these aren't people that you even need to deal with, you know, in any way. And if something happens in person, it's usually because there's alcohol involved, and people feel, you know,
I completely agree.
They get them beer muscles, and now they're going to say people are going to say what they say, you know, and it's not going to change anything. It doesn't change who you are or what you're trying to do. Your mission is righteous, and that's all you ever need to believe in.
Thank you. We appreciate that. That's a huge compliment.
That's for everybody too. That's like,
I
do agree. People, nobody's fighting when there's not alcohol.
No, I'll tell you what, the majority, if I've ever been in an argument, a crazy one, it involved alcohol for sure. And I like that there is a huge movement.
Me, I'm just stubborn.
Yes, it is. But
that's cool too.
There's a huge movement of people quitting drinking that is just very awesome, you know, and I see a lot of people realizing that maybe there's more to life than just alcohol or just making it about the party. I love it now. When I go to a show, I enjoy the time. I remember it. I enjoy it. There's many shows that I've gone to in my life, many shows. Cause I mean, we've gone to so many. I don't remember them. I don't remember being there. I don't remember enjoying it. I can say I was there. Some of them I can't even say which one I was at. So it's like, now I embrace every moment. And like, when I'm around people that are drinking, it does affect me. It's like, are you going to remember this conversation that we're having? Or, you know, little things like that. So I also like to go places and not focus on the party and focus on the love and the friendship and the music and the people.
Yeah, it is more about the people now.
Yeah. Since I've been going back to shows, it's been about the people. I haven't been around people that are crazy partying, you know, drinking heavily, like, you know, beer here and there. But the lifestyle I was used to before was completely different. So I don't know if things have changed, or if it's just because I changed, or I have no idea. But I like the scene. It's getting better when it comes down to it. It's not as crazy with those certain people that are willing to make it about love.
Well, all that ever matters is that you're safe, you're healthy, and you're happy, right? Like that's all that ever really matters. So as long as you're in a situation, and people are going to do what they're going to do, and that's totally cool. But if you're all right, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Jesse's like, I'm not healthy though. Yeah, Jesse's just
I'm
so
good.
we're just making the best out of all of it, you know, and pushing each other to do what we're doing and what you're doing. I want so many people to see your music and start listening and listen to your podcast. So we're gonna make sure that we promote that as much as we possibly can to
Cool.
everybody that we know.
Cool.
Also, you said that we just met and we hadn't talked before, but I've been following you on Instagram for a while, and I was like, I remember this fool's mangoes.
And those are I got some sweet little mangoes coming in on that tree.
I know. I was like, dang. I had to admit that. Earlier, I was like, oh.
She's showing me.
Tree.
We're laughing.
Well, I mean, I think
Yeah, we took a lot of your time and
Totally cool.
amazing to be able to like talk about every possible thing with you right now. Thank you so much for this.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, cool. I had a great time. I would do this even if the camera wasn't rolling. We were just sitting around talking.
We
like
will I'll be in contact because I might just start asking you questions.
She was
That's
dead
cool.
serious.
That's cool. No,
Like,
totally cool. Totally
yeah.
cool.
There's
appreciate
all kinds of stuff that, you know, life's short. Learn everything that you can and just embrace that shit. So if we're here to learn and you have that information,
Yeah.
we will pick your
Yeah,
brain.
we will any information. we're just like we're like sponges. We want to know everything. So
That's awesome. I want to know everything too, and I'm nowhere close.
no,
You
but
can't be. That's how you
The
know.
more people that tell you things.
Yeah.
The more you know, the more you're aware. You will never know everything.
That is absolutely the truth.
yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Right on.
Only people who know a little think they know a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really true. Yeah, I don't know anything. There's so much knowledge out there to be gained, and we'll never even scratch the surface. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about
And help each other and lift each other up.
That's why I do this. I mean, look, I can sit in my room and play guitar and sing and have a good time and never, but no, I want to do this out in the world professionally because I love meeting people. Like I love, and we were talking before about the relationships you get through music. And it's like when I go to a place I've never been before and play music, and it brings people to me, and I get to meet people now because I play this music, and that's the most beautiful thing in the world. Yeah.
To it too, and it just makes it even more special. It's
Yeah.
like all of those people who are there for you and for your music also have each other as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's just such a magical thing, and I love it.
Yeah.
We have high hopes for you for festivals, and California is one of
The places that have many festivals.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
We definitely, I mean, that's definitely a goal, is to get out to California, because we all know how important that is to the whole thing. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll make it out to Florida too. We'll come to you, but
Yay.
I know you have your guitar. Did you want to play anything for us at all?
If you want to, I most certainly will.
I mean, I would love that. And then, that would be really cool, at least so that we can have you playing on here and show everybody what you got.
Yeah, cool. Give me 1 second. It's over there. This is like my makeshift studio, because I'm building a studio. But
awesome.
for right now, it's just like the corner of my bedroom. So everything's kind of close right now. Yeah. Cool. All right, I'll play one. So this tune right here is called Sunshine Music. It was also the title of our previous album. So I'll play that one.
Okay.
Price for peace. Who do we gotta rock to get the killing to cease? Shut down the machines and the symphonies. One day without these sounds will be divine relief. Well, somebody found violence in the middle of culture, sold all its objects to the hawks and vultures. Put one in the hand of anybody they see. Warn me of a day when it's pointed at me. Well, that gun says I'm foolish. Fighting fire with fire never made any sense. I hear nothing good about this noise. I can see an end to it. I never troubled no one who didn't trouble me first. Just wanna live the life I live. So quiet, all them weapons. It's long past time for the one day when love and kindness just fall on us like sunshine music. Well, it's a day without violence, a day without a car crash, a day without a gunshot, a day without a bomb blast, no crying, no screaming, no buzzing in the skies, no lightning, no thunder, no lies, no bribes. Well, that money says I'm foolish. Putting people second doesn't make any sense. This malicious music, oh, assured destruction for mutual defense. I hear nothing good about this noise, but I can see an end to it. I never troubled me one, didn't trouble me first, just wanna live the life I live. So quiet, all them weapons, it's long past time for the one day when love and kindness just fall on us like sunshine music, yeah. Oh, sunshine music, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Like sunshine, oh, like sunshine music. No more violence music, heard enough for that bomb blast music. Lord, I'm sick of that gunshot music. Oh yeah, well I hear nothing good about this noise, I can see an end to it. I never trouble no one, didn't trouble me first, just wanna live the life I live. So quiet, all them weapons, it's 1,000 years past time. One day when love and kindness just fall on us like sunshine music, yeah. Oh, sunshine music, oh, eh, 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 eh. Like sunshine, oh, eh, eh, eh. Like sunshine music.
Dang, that was so awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was, oh my God. Okay, first of all, I needed some live music right now in my life. And like
Oh, cool.
that really made me feel so good. Like,
Aw.
aw.
Yeah, it felt
Aw.
special.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna have to go and listen to this song over and over again
Yeah,
in my car.
that song's like, it's
Time, I feel bad.
it's a goofy concept. There's a lot of tunes that I write where I think, oh man, like this is too, whether it's goofy or like whatever it is, I think, no one's gonna like this. But like that as goofy as it sounds, I was thinking about like awful sounds. Like we build our lives around music. We build our lives around the sounds of our children's laughter and all these beautiful sounds, but there are some awful sounds, I know
Of a car crash, like
yeah, and I know some people love to play with guns and stuff, like whatever. I came from the city. When I hear gunshots, it's not a good situation. Like some people live out in the country, and to them, gunshots is hunting or going to the range. That's great.
I've been
To
shot.
me, yeah. See, there you go. To me, like gunshots are not something that I want to hear. I don't want to hear the sound of screeching brakes. I don't want to hear explosions and things like that. To me, these are there's sounds I don't want to hear.
Yeah, no, they are definitely, and they're and we hear them so much. it's crazy when COVID was happening and there wasn't any of those news stories and those things being broadcasted. It was like really weird. It was like, dang, what happened to all those things, you know? But it was kind of nice not hearing about them.
It was.
Even though you know they were happening
like,
somewhere.
Yeah, it's like oh great, it took like millions of people dying from a disease for us to see
and not hurting
violence to go down. Like, man, like come on, like
I think I'm gonna stop
fair.
for a bit. I don't want to get COVID when I go into this person's house and shoot them or whatever. It's just people are horrible, and I'm sorry, but
You know what's funny is I have this thought all the time if I ever got pulled over or at the airport when they say, do you have any weapons? I don't consider guns weapons. I consider them their own thing. So I'm all like swords.
Like, you know, like we can she saw I don't have any swords in my
And so when they say, do you have any weapons? I don't automatically
knife or something like that. A bomb.
Firearm has its own name.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I'll know.
Or weapons.
Do you have any weapons? And I'm like, I have 7 pocket knives in my car right now. Does that count?
Yeah.
And they're all, no. I don't know. I agree about the sounds, but the word weapons always makes me go, what counts as a weapon now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because anything can be a weapon,
really.
really.
Anything can be a weapon, right? You could beat a man to death with the newspaper if you want. Like, if you wanted it bad enough.
With your
like,
phone,
you could,
even. I mean, I can stab somebody with my glasses.
Dang, this is a good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I really like the juxtaposition of that song, how it brings up all of the heaviness, but then
still makes you feel good.
Yeah. What?
Working with our emotions here, man.
Something that's been said to me a few times is like your songs sound so beautiful until I really listen to the words and I realize you're singing about some heavy, like it's like
how hard it is.
Oh, your voice sounds so nice and the song's so pretty, and that's like then I really pay attention to lyrics and it's like, oh, you're talking about genocide or whatever, you know, and it's like. Well, yeah, it's kind of this weird duality to what we do.
Yeah. It's a beat. They like it. So, some people don't even realize what they're singing. Yeah. You know, when it comes down to it. Yours, I mean, if we're singing your song, we kind of get the feel for what it's saying. But there are some songs where you're singing them and you have no idea what the meaning is. Yeah.
and I do that too, where a lot of what I do is kind of subversive, where it might sound like I'm singing about one thing, but really I'm not. Like I do that a lot because what you're saying, you know, first of all, conscious lyrics turn some people off.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if I can reach some of those people through something, like I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And also some people just aren't lyrically focused. Some people just they love the music. Bill, our bass player, he's like that. It's like I could be writing songs about cats and he wouldn't care. Like doesn't matter one bit.
It's all gonna be singing cat songs.
Say whatever you want. I'm jamming, bud.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to admit that I do like the music a lot. I have also been one of those people that didn't really pay attention to the words of songs. And so again, you know, my eyes were opened and I want to hear all the words. I want to read all the lyrics. I literally, when I have a song going, I want to know what it's saying. I want to feel it the right way, the way I'm supposed to be feeling it.
Well, I think that.
Do you have lyric videos?
I think I did some for the first album, maybe the first 2 albums, and then I kind of got away from that. You know, we've got the lyrics on the website, and I really should do lyric videos for everything.
And then on your iTunes, it has lyrics too, when on iTunes as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've forgotten most of the things that I've done online to promote this band. Like I'll see something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I did that like 3 years ago. I forgot I did that.
Oh, I didn't know we had that account.
Like we have that? That's out there?
Wow, that's a lot of views.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
good work 4 years ago. You forgot.
Something for the future you. Right?
Right. Yeah. Hey, past me did that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do more things because we want to be there for them. And okay, give a shout out. What is your website? You said your website is where you find your songs so you can get 100% of the proceeds. Pimp that out for us. Yeah,
it'll be up there. So the tune is called The Saints of Wrath, and we'll have a page on our website called Saints.
Okay.
So you'll be able to go to streetleveluprising.com/saints, SAINTS. I'm good at spelling, but not in my head. It's that visual thing, right?
Yeah.
I can't
You have to-
visualize the word. I'd have to like write it down. I think that's how you spell saints, but it'll be up there. And yeah, and everything about our band, our music, our videos, everything's up on that website too. And my podcast gets posted on there, and of course that's available everywhere else. And you both will be on there soon, so that's more incentive for people to come to my website to see more of you in a place that they can. Yeah.
We'll bring them.
We don't have any shows scheduled right now. Our drummer decided to go and have a baby in the middle of the summer.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, it's his second, so that's cool. We're very, very supportive of Nate. So our summer is going to be a little backloaded. It's going to be more summer into fall that we're going to be doing shows, and we'll announce that stuff as it comes up. We're also in the middle of working on a full-length album, which will be out. I don't know. We might even hold it back till next spring, just because this year's kind of gotten away from us. But
Yeah.
but yeah, always. I know. Isn't that crazy? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it was just Christmas.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So if you say spring, that's like 2 months away.
Man, is it that
It's
soon?
Summer, I think, right? Spring. Yeah. Right. Well, I can't wait till you guys are out at a show or a festival so that we can go. If you guys don't have anybody looking around, get you guys at festivals, you can hit up Josta, because she's really good about hitting up different places.
Yeah,
and,
Josta's
and
really
getting
cool.
things and getting like the ball rolling. So if that you're just like not having somebody doing that, like she's so good at it. She's really good at it. So
that's really cool. And we do have a lot of people that help us out. I mean, shout out to Michelle. Teresa's helped us out with a lot. We've got our buddy Brian in Kansas City takes a lot of our photos when we're out there. Like we've been very blessed to have a few people who have really gone out of their way to help us and go above and beyond. And you can't do anything without people like that in your life. In anything, not just music, but in anything. You can't succeed at anything at any level without people who like and respect what you're doing and are willing to help you out.
So, it takes a village.
Yeah, shout out to all those people. They all do so much for us.
Yeah.
Well, cool. We appreciate each and every single one of them, because that's something that, like, you have your band, you each have your job, but then it's all people around you too who help build it all up together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys soon. We're gonna make it work.
Yeah. But that gives us time to get out to Florida or Kansas.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And in the meantime, we'll talk offline about you coming on the Talking Reggae podcast, because
for sure.
I've got a million questions for you. So
okay.
You're on the other side of the grill coming up.
And you know what? We're ready for it. We want to do that. So we're down. Just let us know what days work for you, and we'll make it work too.
Yeah, we're gonna do this very soon. This is gonna happen very, very soon.
We'll be ready. Well then, we really appreciate you being on our show today.
I appreciate the heck out of both of you and what you're doing. And it's always humbling to meet wonderful human beings like yourselves. And I fully support everything that you're doing. And thank you so much for having me on here. It means the world to me.
Oh, thank you so much. How do we say goodbye now?
We're just having a good time.
We just fade out.
Fade out.
I'll do it. Okay. We just wrapped up our interview with Jay Canter of Streetlevel Uprising, the band. And he also has his podcast. It was a very wonderful interview.
It was, I don't know about you guys, but that whole thing just felt really special and magical, and like we were given so much information and just met a lifelong new friend. I mean, I feel like we had a connection. It was really cool to know that somebody who has so much experience in this history of reggae and such is also standing behind us and appreciates what we're doing for the community as well. It's a huge feeling of appreciation to know that you just interviewed somebody who has dedicated their whole life to this, and they are there to be there for you. I mean, I'm still, it's surreal, and I'm still in awe over just everything that we learned and everything that we talked about. And
so please give them a follow, subscribe to YouTube, to their music channels, to his podcast, all of those things. We keep saying it, it's all in the numbers, it's all in the algorithms. follow it, because you're going to hear amazing things. You're going to be exposed to brand new amazing things. You're going to learn amazing things. Like, just do it. We have to feed our minds wonderful things, and they're out here offering wonderful things. And it feels like such a blessing for us to be able to sit here and show and share all of those wonderful things. And he had like the longest list of wonderfulness.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm happy that we did this episode. I want to give a huge shout out to Josta Smith. We also wanted to give a huge shout out to her as well and welcome her onto a Nameless production team. So for those of you who do not know Josta Smith, we have asked her to be our scheduling agent, our booking managers, helping us get these interviews set up, reaching out to these artists, and she's been really, really good. She set this up for us, and it worked out so amazing, and it was one of the interviews that really hit hard with me. It really hit my heart in a way that, I mean, sometimes you don't think you're doing the right thing, you know, and like I've had a rough couple days, and like something like this to just up my spirit and just really remind me that like it's okay to have those bad days as long as you get up and you fight for those good days, you know?
Like you said, stay tough.
Yeah.
You stay tough.
Yeah,
and
stay
as long
tough.
as you stay tough, you level up. And it's supposed to be hard. It's hard for a reason. And
it's what we've been saying all along. And this is, again, just another person in the industry who's been here longer than us, much longer than us, and is saying the same exact thing. So we know we're spreading the right news in the right way and the right message. The right message.
Yes, it felt really good. We felt like equals. It's a beautiful thing to reach that level where we don't feel like we're tiptoeing in an area where we don't belong. Now we realize, no, they need that.
Yeah.
There was a need for it,
yeah.
And we're there to help fill it, and we want to spread the music and the love and the message with everybody, because it's not just about smoking weed and being hippies and patchouli.
It's definitely about the love and the compassion and the community and the family, and just making sure that we're all lifting each other up instead of pushing each other down. Like, how can you push somebody down just to get over them to get to the top? I just don't, I can't imagine it. So there's always going to be those artists, though, that are not on that level, and they don't want to be involved in what their fans are doing. But the ones that we're reaching and the ones that we're getting these interviews with, they are the ones that are going to make a difference, because they're the ones that are not acting like they're better than anybody else.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It's all an equal ground, and like, you know, you can't have anything without the fans there to support you and to build you up and to give you those numbers that make it considered a success.
Yeah.
If that's the goal, you know, you need the people. And if that's not the goal, if the goal is just to spread the love and the message, you still need those same people to be there to receive the message. Yeah. So,
well, and even if the goal is just to make money and not even care, you still need the people.
Yeah,
like, you can't do that without the people. They're not going to buy your shit. They're not going to buy your tickets. So, like, if you're a band and you don't appreciate your fans, you should, because, like, we appreciate you guys. So, like, the feeling should be mutual.
Yeah. And it's just beautiful to interact with these artists, and dang, he's such a freaking wonderful human.
Oh my god.
Dang.
And that song, it felt very awesome to get like a one-on-one show. Just because, like, when we're sitting there watching and listening, it's like, dang, we're literally just the two people sitting there watching and listening when it's happening. And now you guys are going to get to see all that, or you guys have just seen that, and it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was
just
cool.
all the words in that song too. Like, go back and listen to them, and then you can realize that we really all can make a difference if we just like do those things.
Just decide.
You just have to decide just to be that good person and do those good things. It's not hard at all.
Sometimes it's not hard to
be a good person.
Sometimes it's hard to do the things that you know are right and that you know are good.
Yeah.
Because, like we say, like, nothing worth it is ever easy. And you will have to push through those tough times and stay tough and stay brave and all of that. But then, like, you'll always know it's right. You'll doubt it for a second, and then you go, no, it's right.
Yeah.
It's right. and it feels good. And it was just amazing to connect with somebody who has a lot of the same goals as what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's about the people and finding the love. And
yeah, it's also crazy. I had some crazy dreams last night, and I sent Jessie the meanings of them this morning, and it just all goes hand in hand. It really does. Just that
spot on.
That you just have to I don't know, my dreams pretty much meant that I'm doing what's right and I'm on the right path, and that I need to stop doubting myself. That's pretty much what my dreams told me, and I was like, oh, that really spot on. Yeah, whatever you're doing that you don't think it's worth it, or you think you're not getting enough out of it, if it makes you happy and it's something you want to happen, keep pushing through.
You know what? I can't remember her name, and I apologize, our sister. There's a dirty sister who is starting her musical journey. Oh, fuck, I wish I could remember her name. It's right there. I'm forgetting all my words.
It's been a long day, too.
She posted just recently, like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
I remember, too, and I'm sorry, yeah.
You know the post. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I want to do it. It's what I want. But then I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
For your future. You're doing it for future you.
Yeah.
You're doing it so that you'll feel proud of yourself. You're doing it because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Those reasons are enough of a reason.
I agree.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Keep on keeping on and be tough.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Everybody's watching. We're all watching. Fuck, I wish I could remember her name. I want to call you out so bad.
She's not going to quit, and you could just pop her name in.
I will. I'm going to tag it and be like, here you go. We called you out. You have to keep playing your music now.
Yeah, she's not going to give up.
And I don't think she will, and neither will we. And, like, you know, Streetlevel Uprising, he's been playing music for 30-something years, and he's still is like, no, I'm still climbing.
Yeah.
Still climbing, and give him a year.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to know his name.
Yeah. I'm excited. All right, guys. I'm tired.
Peace out.